Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Again, I'm with the new guest who has done something like what I can say is unbelievable. Like when it comes to the mathematics, things turn different. मैथ्स का जो फोबिया लेके हम स्टूडेंट्स के अंदर देख चुके हैं पिछले 10 साल में या 15 साल में जो भी मेरी एक्सपीरियंस रही है, उसको लेके जो मैथ्स का एक स्टूडेंट्स के अंदर ख़ास तौर पे गर्ल्स के अंदर जो एक फोबिया मैथ्स का है, उसको लेके इट्स माय ऑनर एंड प्लेजर टू हैव a nurture talk with a person who has done something big in mathematics. A gold medalist in his MSc from Kashmir University, and then PhD from NIT, and then working as a college lecturer, then left that and then qualified as an assistant professor at NIT Srinagar. Presently, Mr. Idrees is with me, Pirzada Idrees, who is working as an assistant professor in NIT subject mathematics. So, Mr. Idrees, welcome to in our studio, Nurture Careers.
Thank you for my.
It's my honor and pleasure you're with us today, and I think it's a great achievement for us that we are here able to have a kind of discussion about the mathematics with you. So it was a research based this. We have chosen you for it. That how we can make it people understand to think about the mathematics and why mathematics is important. इससे पहले कि मैं जो मैथमेटिक्स को आगे लेके चलो, मुझे ये ज़रूरी लगता है कि आप अपने बारे में नाजरीन को या मेरे स्टूडेंट्स जो मेरी ऑडियंस है उनको अपने बारे में बता के चलें.
So I started my schooling from Handwara. Did my 10+2 from Government Higher Secondary School Handwara. Then I did my BSc from GDC Handwara, MSc from University of Kashmir, and PhD from NIT Srinagar. Then I worked as a contractual assistant professor at CUK for some 6 or 7 months. After that, I worked as a lecturer at GHSS Lingate, and then as an assistant professor at GDC Handwara again. And presently, I'm working as an assistant professor at NIT Srinagar.
Done. So, sir, the most important question here is what जो मैं आपके साथ जिसके लिए ये discussion है, that is besides the maths phobia among the students जो आपने अपने classmates के अंदर भी देखा होगा शायद. Besides you have been from an area like हंदवारा, जहाँ मुझे लगता है कि उतना अभी जो है अभी तक भी मैं जो देखता हूँ कि मैथ्स का उतना रुझान नहीं है, या मेडिकल नॉन मेडिकल की बात करेंगे कि बच्चे जो है एक सब्जेक्ट ऑप्ट करने में एक दिक्कत सी महसूस करते हैं. क्या ऐसा हो गया कि आपने इतना कुछ जो मैथ्स के बारे में एक सिनेरियो या एनवायरनमेंट है उसको लेके मैथ का इंतखाब किया? What was the reason behind it?
So when I was in my school, I was very much interested in science as a whole, and I loved biology particularly. I used to study books about biology, and I used to study topics which were not even in my syllabus. And when I was in 8th and 9th class, my maths teacher would ask, who among you would choose maths after 10th class?
Okay.
And I was the first person who would
Raised his hand.
undoubtedly say that I'm not going to take maths because I loved biology more than any other subject.
Oh.
I was very much interested in painting, drawing patterns, and music. So what I used to do after finishing exams, I used to practice these things. After finishing my 9th class exam, I studied some books. I read some books about painting and drawing patterns. So while I was studying them, I realized that math plays an important role in them. And the love for painting and drawing patterns drew me towards mathematics.
Great.
Now I started studying mathematics. So earlier when my teacher would say why you would not take mathematics, my answer was that mathematics are dull, a dry subject, It doesn't seem anywhere in our real life. However, biology is so alive. But now I began to realize that mathematics is not that much dull. And I began to practice mathematics with some different perspective. And then I realized that once I'm in my room practicing some problem of mathematics, which is not even in my syllabus, and even if I'm not able to crack it or solve it, but leaving my room, I felt that I am more like intelligent than before, or I can say less dull than before.
True.
And there only I decided that I had to take maths and I had to do research in maths. And after my 10th class, it was perfectly okay that I had to take maths only.
You did not opt for biology at that time?
No, I did not opt for biology then.
It was a strong decision to have physics, chemistry, and mathematics.
Yes, physics, chemistry, mathematics, and statistics.
You did not feel it like you were much more interested in the biology and then just shift from one this to another this? Like, what we have seen that, we see 7, 8, 10 इसमें अगर आपका एक बायोलॉजी के साथ इंटरेस्ट है या उर्दू वटेवर तो एकदम आप सब्जेक्ट चेंज करने में कोई दिक्कत तो नहीं महसूस होगी?
That was because the way I saw mathematics, where I was studying painting and patterns, how much interesting and how much good the subject is, that's why that drew me towards mathematics.
Right.
And then after I studied higher mathematics, I began to saw things in a new way. Like Galileo says that the laws of nature has been written in the language of mathematics. And while studying higher mathematics, I saw mathematics not just as a subject but as a sense. Just like we have a sense of humor, we have a sense of rhythm.
Okay.
Mathematics is the sense of relationship. It is a sense of logical connections. It is a sense we see the things.
Right.
So even during these days, nowadays, what I do is, whenever we have a day and I practice maths for 3 or 4 hours a day, it makes my full day.
Okay.
I remain happy throughout my day. And no matter how much irritating and annoying a situation is, I don't get irritated. The reason is because I remain happy from inside after doing maths.
That's great.
And that recalls me, with that I will quote a quotation from one of the well-known mathematicians, Andrew, who says that whenever I feel unhappy, I do mathematics to be happy, to become happy. And whenever I
This is really a motivation for you.
Whenever I am unhappy, I do mathematics to remain happy.
Great.
And that is exactly what I have observed.
Great. So, what next question from my side to you is, what I have seen, what I have observed from last 10, 15 years, that there's a decline in students opting mathematics. I've seen the decline in it. Among the girl child, you find that they don't. I feel students are happy in class 10 when they're appearing in class 10. Now I'm relaxed because I have not to go for the mathematics. Have you just thought of it that why so?
That is what is known as the anxiety about mathematics, or what you call as math phobia. Now, if once you say phobia, it's actually an anxiety and which is characterized by persistent failure of any object or persistent fear of any object. So what happens is, once we have a failure, suppose student fails to do an example or a problem, and that failure is repeated, that repeated failure intensifies that failure and gives birth to that fear.
Is there a role of the high school teacher or middle school teacher who can just help the student during this period that he can generate the interest related to mathematics?
I'll come to that. Let me first go to why is it in students, and then what we need to do.
Right.
So one of the biggest problem is the flawed treatment of mathematics, and it depends upon many reasons. The first one is the way of teaching mathematics.
Yes, that's it.
The way we teach, the way that mathematics is teached all over is not good, and the way it is taught in Kashmir in particular, it is worse. So what the teacher does, what I have observed is, teacher takes an example, solves it, and the student, even if he is able to follow the steps of the example, he is not able to realize what he is actually doing, why he is actually doing it. So he is able to follow the steps from one to second to third, but he is not able to realize what and why he is doing.
Right.
I will tell an example. Once I was in my MScs, there were two persons who were preparing for KS at those times.
Right.
So they came to us. I had my friend with me. His name is Lal. So they came to us and said that we need some help in maths. And Lal agreed. I said that I have no time. Lal agreed. And one day I happened to visit Lal's room. He was teaching them logarithms. And one of the person from them said that from last 2 days we have been hearing logarithm, log of mn is log of m plus log of n, log of m raised power n is m log m, and so on. And we are able to solve actually the problems, but up to now we have not realized what is log. So what is actually log? You are saying it from last 2 days. What is it? Log.
You are not teaching ABC and you are jumping to the sentence.
Log. So the same thing happens. The teacher is teaching something and student doesn't know actually what it is and why it is.
For what it is.
For what it is. Mathematics is so alive subject. We can visualize the mathematical equation just like we visualize an apple.
Right.
One of the greatest mathematicians, Srinagar says, he says that an equation means nothing to me unless it presents the thought of God.
Right.
So if we can visualize the things, we need to change this way of teaching.
Correct.
The second thing is that once we give some problem to a student, the teacher stresses on the thing that he has to get an accurate answer,
Correct.
accurate response.
Right.
And the accurate response demands the precision and accuracy.
Correct.
And that too in that much lesser time, this stresses the student's brain, and that creates the fear of the subject.
Right.
And there is some more reasons why there is a fear psychosis or why there is anxiety about maths in the students. One of the third reason is that the negative perception, and any other relative or parent or teacher would tell a student that maths is a very hard subject. You cannot do this.
What it is not.
What it is not. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. I have seen
you have to take more efforts, you can get it done.
I have seen maths as easier other subjects. So I will tell an example. For example, I am wearing a glass. Now, mathematics is just a sense. Suppose I am wearing a glass. Naturally, some people have certain senses. Some people have more sharper senses than others. If I'm wearing glass, if I see the things with the glass, you are able to see without the glass. But that doesn't mean that I will say that I'm not good at seeing, or I can say that I'm not a seeing type of person. So everyone can do mathematics. Some might need more efforts, but that will come automatically once he actually realizes what is going on in the background of the equation. Once he realizes what this equation is all about. And once he visualize an equation.
Correct. So, I think here the important thing is what I need to discuss with you that what should be done? What should be done that students can, I am working in this field now, working with this nurture careers. My work is like this that I want to just make students understand that there is from Urdu to the mathematics, history to the physics, chemistry, biology, every subject is important for me. For other subjects, I see a good demand, but I see the student is good in mathematics, doing well, but not opting mathematics. So my worry is there. How you can suggest, or how you can, hundreds of teachers may be watching, and we may share it with the teachers and students as well, that what do you suggest that we can make it happen, that we can get good number and we can generate the interest of the students towards the mathematics?
So there are different steps we need to take. The number one is the teaching.
Right.
We need to improve our teaching. And so this is our failure, that if a student is not opting for maths. the teachers, we need to fundamentally change what is happening in our classrooms. One, we need to make students visualize an equation.
Right.
I will tell an example. You know that my father is.
I will suggest कि हमारा थोड़ा दूर दराज इलाकों से भी है कुपवारा, from other areas जहाँ पे शायद English का exposure नहीं होता है. If you can just make it more in Urdu,
Okay.
so that students will feel good towards the audience and a bit louder.
Okay, so you know that my father is working is.
And a great contribution for Saab is a great contribution
Right,
to the
right,
society of
right.
Urdu.
So we have a school there at Hanwara. One day I happened to visit there, and my father
Take it
told.
Urdu.
Okay, मेरे father ने कहा कि you go to 9th class and interact with them. So when I went to 9th class, I told them what would you like to study. They said we would like to study quadratic equation. तो मैंने एक सिंपल इक्वेशन ले ली x square, नॉट इक्वेशन एक्सप्रेशन x square.
ठीक है, ठीक है.
So I told them what is this? They said कि x square है. Then I draw the graph x square, and I told them what will be x square plus 1, and then they draw the graph x square plus 1 by the instructions I gave them.
All right.
And then I told them, now just close your pen and paper and tell me how will x square minus 1 look. Just think in your mind. And every student was able to say that it would look like this. And how will x square plus 2 will look? And how about x square minus 2? And then I told them, what about minus x square? What about minus x square plus 1? Minus x square minus 1. And finally I told them, now you just visualize it in your mind, draw x square plus 1, 2, 3, 4, I can say in general x square plus c, where c is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. And at the same time, draw minus x square plus c, where c is 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2, that is an integer. And just visualize it in your mind. I will give you 1 minute. So after 1 minute, they said that it's a beautiful pattern, a just fascinating one. And then I told them, you go to your homes, take a big paper and draw this and see how does it look, how beautiful is it.
Sure.
So in this way we can get the interest of the students, and they can actually see what is going on. It is x square is not just an abstract thing, it's something we can see.
Correct.
So the second thing is we need to have tutorials in our classrooms.
It's a collective effort. We have to work collectively for this, that we can just, and I think awareness is the most important thing. We have to.
So this is a two-way process. This is for both. This should be both done by teachers as well as students.
Yeah.
So the first step is for teachers. The second step again but for teachers. That is the tutorials. Tutorials would mean that a teacher would make some groups in a classroom, groups of 3 or 4 students, and give some problem. Now don't show the problem, just facilitate them, trigger their mind by some hints, and what will happen that the student will make mistakes. He will make mistakes. Now making mistakes is very important. Unless student
Mathematics is a subject like where you have to.
Yes, making mistakes is very much important because there is one research which says that one student makes mistake, but keep it in mind that he can do this. Now it grows his mind. So the mind grows not because you are able to do, because you make mistake. Once you make mistake, what they call them synapses are fired. So once synapses are fired, their mind grows. So making mistake is not actually a bad thing; it's a good thing.
Correct.
One of the authors has written a book. I don't know exactly I don't remember exactly the title. It is something like it's not that we cannot be wrong. The power of mathematical thinking, something like this.
Right.
So teachers should study this book. And as far as students are concerned, and moreover, while taking tutorials, teachers have to be patient.
You're right.
understanding what the students need, how much I have to give them, how much I have to take from them, and that will help the students to grasp the things, build self-confidence, and grow their minds. As far as students are concerned, they need to not mark the things, cram the things. They do not feel shy about making mistakes. They need to practice some problems which are outside the syllabus. They need not to just take the example which the teacher has shown and follow the steps,
Right.
and study some more material.
Right. Do you think students who are opting for physics, chemistry, and biology, and thinking of to be a doctor or maybe other things like what जो आपको फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री बायोलॉजी को लेके कैरियर है, तो वहाँ पे मुझे लग रहा है कि मतलब जो हमारी एक ये है कि जैसे फिजिक्स में एक एक्सेल नहीं कर पाता है बच्चा, नीट का बच्चा जो होता है फिजिक्स में एक्सेल नहीं कर पाता है. Do you think mathematics can be a reason? Is there any synchronization between the mathematics and the physics?
See, the need of maths, why students should study maths. There are different reasons why students should study maths. One is that it enhances his analytical thinking, his problem-solving skills,
Correct.
and that is reflected in his real life.
All right.
Even if he's not taking maths as a major, but these problem-solving skills and analytical thinking, it reflects in his whole life. Second, mathematics is just fun to study. Once we study mathematical equation or some mathematical concept, it gives so much happiness. And third, there are many career opportunities in maths. So if one takes maths, there are many career opportunities. And fourth, what you are talking about, even if a student is not taking maths for higher studies, suppose he is going for NEET, suppose he is going for some civil services or any exam. So in any exam, you will find a portion of the paper which is for maths and reasoning. So I have seen friends who do well in exam, but because of the portion of reasoning and maths, they are not able to qualify. So I have many friends who come to me and say that we have this exam, but it has a portion of maths and reasoning, and we are not able to do this. Because once they will not study maths, their analytical thinking is not that much good. And as far as NEET is concerned, I think a NEET aspirant should take maths. The reason is that physics whole depends on mathematics.
Okay.
Once he has good mathematical concepts, he can do well in. There are two things. One, mathematical concepts and mathematical stuff will help him in physics.
Right.
Second, the way he thinks in maths
Right.
will enable him to think in the same way in physics.
Correct.
So in maths we have hard problems, so he'll be used to solve the hard problems, and in physics it will be reflected.
Right.
And one more thing we can do that is not for that an organization can do is, again, a two-way process. We need to have workshops both for teachers as well as students.
Yeah, that's what we were looking for, those kind of workshops. Maybe we are looking for it that we make all chairmen and all that we may call up for this, that how we can be good enough in it that students of us should choose mathematics. Basically, I'm just we are looking for a coaching center by the name of Aspire in the future, coming session.
Okay, congratulations for
Yeah,
that.
we
In
are looking
advance.
for that.
In
There
advance.
basically is that the research-based institute we are coming up with, Aspire by name. तो वहाँ पे जो हमारा एक मतलब how it can be helpful in mathematics, and I personally feel mathematics is a subject which can just make a mind of student to work hard and think logically about everything.
Right.
So another thing is that what is your dream job? Is it a teaching? Is it like to help students at this juncture, or how students can reach to you? Just taking your help. I obviously will be available for all the students, my audience, that you can just send your queries, questions to us, and we can forward it to Idrees sir, and sir can help us to forward it to you. Because he's very busy with his works and all that, I cannot come up with that way, the way you want or the way I want. It would have been my desire if you would join his hands with me. I don't know how I successful will be. But let me ask one more important thing. What's your dream job?
My dream job has always been a researcher, a teacher, a guide.
Mathematics teacher.
From my childhood, it was biology teacher again. But then once
Finally, he's a teacher.
Once I took mathematics, I feel that mathematics is much more easier to teach than other subjects.
Oh.
But if we teach it, we are supposed to teach mathematics. If we are teaching it traditionally, then it is a bit difficult. But the way we are supposed to teach mathematics, if we teach it in that way, then it is much more easier to teach maths than any other subject.
But I think here I can understand one thing from you is that before teaching or before studying mathematics, you need to understand mathematics.
Right.
What exactly the value of the subject is.
Right.
And first you need to get motivated towards the subject. Then I think things become very easy for us.
Right.
So next, the last question from me will be that I don't know whatever your desire and wish will be. What do you want to see as a mathematician? You have your app also, जिसमें आपने मतलब पूरे thoughts को ये लगा दिया है. I would suggest if you can just suggest that app to the students as well, कि ताकि वो भी इस आपके इस वर्क से फैज़याब हो जाए. 10 साल के बाद आप खुद को कहाँ देखना चाहते हैं?
I will not talk about after 10 years. 10 years is a
too
huge
much.
gap. But after 5 years, I have certain projects in my mind that I will keep secret because of certain reasons.
Right.
Otherwise, you will say you're crazy. So I have precisely 2 projects in my mind. I'm working on them. So the projects are about, I can give a brief overview of what the projects are all about. I have worked in the places which are very far-flung areas. I have went to the schools which are very far-flung, interacted with the students there, and I have seen unlimited potential in them that need to be explored. And we need to do something for that. So there should be some platform which can utilize it so as to enable them to have better education. Because for them going outside, coming to Srinagar, to any coaching center, anywhere else is very difficult. But an example, and that is related to mathematics also. I have a student. She was not taking maths after 10th class. I motivated her, persuaded her to take mathematics. Finally, she agreed. But I guess she agreed because she wanted to keep my heart. Otherwise, she wasn't interested. And then,
so that's an achievement.
Yes. And then what happened is she did exceptionally well in maths, and she is now doing civil engineering in a reputed institute.
Oh, great.
And she is from a
and that too, when it's a girl, it's a huge
and that too with full scholarship.
Great.
So we need to work there also, because they cannot. I told her go to Srinagar and have tuition there. I gave her your reference. I told her I will talk to sir, and he might do concession there also.
Oh.
But then she told me that the rent and then the daily,
right.
So I cannot afford.
We have started our work from far-flung areas. Nurture Careers has reached to an area where there is a dearth of this thing that they don't know what next after class 10. And our work has started from District Kupwara. We are leaving towards south. Maybe immediately we don't want to disturb students at this level. Maybe immediately after class 10 we are taking workshops in different areas all around the Kashmir Valley. Then our eyes are on different areas of India as well. So, dear audience, dear students, this was today's talk with Mr. Dr. Idrees Saab. we had a little discussion because of the less time and because of this that it should not be so long where you can feel bored. Maybe in the future time we may request him that he may be available many a times whenever he will find time as a guest and honorary lecture. We will be waiting for his honorary lectures and guest lectures many a times at Esquire, and often will be helping that online we can be available with our students in the future. So thank you, Dr. Idrees Saab.
Thank
It
you,
was a
sir,
nice
for
interaction.
inviting
I
me.
hope that in the future time we'll meet again and have some kind of discussion for the
Thank you,
sake of
sir.
students.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you so much.